We're back with the Bad Vibe Podcast. This is episode 9.
And my name is Dwight.
And I'm Jeremy.
I'm the white Dwight.
Pretty much when he says I'm Dwight, I shouldn't have to say anything because there's only two of us. But
Yeah, if any of us. Except that one time that I did say I'm Jeremy.
And I said, and he's a liar.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
No, we hurried up and pushed play because we were...
A record.
They don't know what it says on there. You made them know that I'm a liar.
We have a button that says play, I guess, that really means record.
Well, here's all you need to know. All these buttons he's talking about are just an app on his phone, and he pushes them, I don't. If I was in charge of pushing buttons, we'd probably have 2 episodes.
Yeah,
because I would forget to push play.
Yeah, we'd be sitting there talking like, I don't know how it's been recorded, it's not saying anything. I guess we'll end it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where those episodes go? I don't know, because we're going to delete them. Anyways, this is episode number 9.
Yeah. And,
Did you already say that?
Episode 9. We're brought to you by the neighbor's Wi-Fi. We're live from the truck. You know, sitting in the
We're
truck
live
again.
from the GMC.
Yeah, this is...
It's not even like an extended cab or a 4-door.
No, it's a single cab truck.
It's a single cab with untinted windows.
No tinted windows. People driving by, if people look into the truck, they don't think we're weirdos, they're sure of it.
Yeah, there was a cop passing by and he's like, I want to stop, but I don't know if I do.
Like Dwight said earlier, we look like air traffic controllers.
Yeah, because they were headsets, but...
Except that what we're looking out into is the back of some people's houses and a tree.
It's mostly the whole thing is
It's an empty lot. We're in an empty lot.
I mean, the whole window is all fogged up and everything.
It's not fog, it's that sap shit falls out of the tree.
Oh, yeah.
And my window's sticky.
But yeah, a cop passed by a while ago, and he probably wanted to stop, but then didn't want to.
He's like, fuck.
He's probably like, what are they doing? You got your windshield wipers going?
No. My windshield wipers, when you push...
They always do that?
Yeah. When you do the thing to spray, it does like 3 wipes, and then it waits a second, and it does another one.
That's just ridiculous.
It always does it. Yeah, I know.
But anyways, when we started this over 2.5 minutes ago, we were talking about the movie Noah and how religious people don't like it because it's not based on the real story.
Yeah. They don't like the movie Noah, which, it's a big blockbuster. It's kind of like Braveheart. They change a few things to make it a better movie, but, they stick to the basics. Well, the religious people...
Like Braveheart?
Braveheart changes some shit.
Oh, I was like, how is it like fucking Braveheart?
How's it not like
How's some
Braveheart?
Scottish guy with paint on his face? Heck, that's a good movie. I want to see it again.
Yeah, but
it's been a while.
What is Russell Crowe? He's not an American.
I was going to say, he's not in Braveheart.
Wait, is he American? No, he's like Australian. That's how it's like Braveheart. The stars of both movies are Australian.
Okay. Is Russell Crowe?
I'm pretty sure he's not American.
I don't know. Anyways, we're not brought to you by Australia or Russell Crowe, clearly.
No, just Mel Gibson.
We'd probably know his real accent. But you forget, though, because you watch movies with him. Not with them, but with him in them.
When he comes over and we watch movies, he always does an American accent.
When I watch a movie with Russell Crowe, we usually sit side by side.
He's like, bring the popcorn, mate. And that's how we outed him.
We're like, yeah. No, seriously, I'm like, does he? Because you see movies with him in it, and, you don't pick up on it because he's always using his American accent.
But have you ever noticed his American accent is weird? You know that movie where he's like a math genius and...
Yeah, Beautiful Mind?
Beautiful Mind. He is an American in that, but he has a weird fucking accent.
I recorded Cinderella Man.
That's a pretty good... In that, he's an American, but he has a weird accent. He's like... I don't know. Anyway, that's not important.
What's about Gladiator? He has an accent in that too, don't he?
Yeah, but he has like a British sounding accent. Because I hate this about
movies. Yeah, I know where you're going with this one.
Anytime there's a movie and it's about an ancient time, or not even just ancient, but like mythical even. If they're in Middle Earth, or if they're in Rome, or if they're ancient, whatever, they always have a British accent.
They're not going to have an American accent, but...
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, but that just sounds...
A British accent is as far from Latin as American accent is.
Yeah.
The Romans, they didn't speak...
I'm like, yeah, get over your little speeches. No, I mean, I'm like, yeah. But, and then I bring up something completely stupid and preposterous.
Yeah. So anyway, accents aside, the movie Noah, Christian people, church people, they're pissed because they say that the movie changed the story too much. Which is funny, because...
The original story was one of the stupidest in the book anyways.
It's not just that it's stupid, it's that...
Come on.
If you told that story...
It's what got me kicked out of the Catholic Church. CCD.
Yeah, because you're like,
asking
wait
too many
a
questions.
minute.
I was in like 3rd grade, and I got kicked out of the Catholic CCD or whatever, like for the kids. I don't know what it's called now. Anyways, I got kicked out because I asked too many questions about Noah's Ark, I guess.
You would think that as long as you don't ask too many questions about the finger in your butthole, they'd be happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't remember any fingers being in my butthole either, but I mean, I remember, like, talking about a lot of stuff, asking a lot of questions, and I started bringing up stuff with the other kids, and they were like, that was my last day there. But, good?
Yeah, right before it started, I had a tickle in my throat.
That sounds like a fucking
Yeah, I know.
fag talk right there.
Well...
For all the fags out there listening, that wasn't, like, I wasn't trying to be mean there or anything.
Yeah, for all our fag listeners, I'm sure there's plenty of y'all.
It's probably all that big old fat dick in your mouth. And anyways.
No, it's not that. It's not that this time.
No, but anyways, yeah. So we'll get back to Noah.
Yeah, so
movie.
So the thing is...
Not the real guy that was 700 years old or whatever. How old was he supposed to be?
Like 680 years old.
That's just stupid. They didn't have modern medicine back then.
We have penicillin now, and we still die at 80.
Like the healthy ones died at 80. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not just like,
we won't live to 80.
That guy he died in his prime. He's 80. No, I like 80's like, holy shit, he lived. He was 80 years young. That's so gay. That guy was 700 years young.
But the problem with that is...
Why do they say that?
Because they're stupid.
He was 80 years young.
Pretty sure George Carlin
Because you say old, they're like, you don't want to call him old. He knows he's fucking old.
He is old.
He's been alive for 80 fucking years. He knows he's old.
If he has an itch, he can't scratch it for fear of that part falling off.
He's seen people grow up and die, and then, their kids grow up and die. I mean, possibly.
If you're 80 now, you were pretty old when I was born.
That's fucking crazy.
And I have gray hair.
80 years young. That's so fucking shit.
Yeah, that makes me fucking sick.
That's just... Come on. You know?
Now, for Noah, you would have said 80 years young.
Yeah.
Because he was going to live 10 times longer.
He was still a toddler.
Yeah, he was going to live 10 times. It's like being like 7 or 8.
He was still just a little baby. They're like, oh, look at him, so cute.
Yeah, when he was 80 years young.
Building his little ark. Right? But anyways.
So they bitch.
People are like, no, he built his ark when he's 700. Not when he's 80.
If anybody ever comes at you like you're stupid because you messed up a Bible fact, that's
so
the
stupid.
best.
Bible facts.
They're like, no. It wasn't.
That's like Twilight facts.
Except worse. Because Twilight is consistent. It's not like in one story that Edward had brown hair, and the next one was like Edward had blonde hair. The Bible's like that.
People, there's some Twilight fan out there. He had goldish, whatever.
Oh, you know somebody's.
Sounds like he doesn't have brown hair.
Yeah, there's some little skinny pale kid jerking off when we said Edward, and then he stops and he's like, I went limp when they said brown hair.
But anyway, what's he doing? Listening to our podcast.
I assume everybody that's listening to our podcast is jerking off.
That's just crazy.
I don't know why. When I think, when you're like, oh, the listeners, I always imagine, a fat guy with, Cheeto dust on his chest just jerking one out with a half-hard cock.
I think if people playing Madden or something, playing some kind of a sport game, or in
you're
their car.
Clearly not as fucked up as me.
We're going to work in their car or something. But, I don't think of them sitting in a dark room with a candle lit right next to them.
For some reason,
they got our Facebook page blasted up with
the picture of us with the six packs.
They're like, oh gosh, look at their chubby faces and rock hard abs. No, they're not. I don't think they'd be thinking like that. Yeah. We don't have rock hard abs, and if we do, they're somewhere under thick layers of fat.
There's a very small chance that I do have rock hard abs, but if I do, you'll never see them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, when it's super cold and you wear not a thin jacket and a heavy one, but 2 heavy jackets. I have that over my rock hard abs, all in fat.
Without a jacket.
I always thought the part of my stomach that sticks out was like guts. But it isn't. I have the same amount of guts as a skinny guy.
That's just fat over
fat.
It's all hanging out. It's just drooped to that area. And the belt cuts it off. It's just hang there.
If you wear a belt with a sharp buckle, mother.
There's fat guys out there I can't wear belts, the guy's right. He's right. Can't wear belts.
Yeah, I know, belts
Like,
suck.
you can wear a belt if you stand up. As soon as you sit down, oh, God.
When you sit down, you kind of flip the top of it out a little.
Skinnier people are like, what the fuck are they talking? What do you mean you can't wear a belt?
Yeah. The thin people are just like slightly fat people are like, I'll never get like that. You know what? You will.
That's
if
crazy.
you're kind of fat and you're 20, you're going to be as fat as me when
Think
you're
of
30.
people that are like skinny all the way, right? Like no fat around their
Their
stomach.
belt doesn't touch their stomach.
Yeah, when they sit down and everything, it's just they look straight down and like can see the curve.
Yeah.
Not the curve going in, the curve going out. Like, skinny people are like, what are they fucking talking about? Curve going in. Right?
Yeah, trust me. You can see the curvature of the gut
That's
from
crazy.
above.
Anyway, we were talking about Noah.
Oh, yeah, Noah.
Let's get back to Noah.
Yeah, so,
He's waiting on us.
all right, just to,
His
clear it
gay-ass
up.
ark.
I know the Bible pretty well because I was raised real religious and I like to read, which is a bad combination.
Oh, scratch.
Because when I was growing up, they were like, we would go to church and there's some guy up there talking and he clearly isn't very smart. I could figure that out at a young age. So I would read the Bible and I was like, wait a minute. I remember reading about Noah's Ark and being like, this is kind of like those stories they give us in school. You know,
Like kindergarten?
I was older than that. I was probably 8 or 9. I always read at a high level for some reason. I was one of those guys. It's I remember reading about Noah's Ark and I was like, I just assumed it wasn't true. I assumed it was fantasy,
Yeah.
Some people read Harry Potter.
Well, all right, hold on. What, season during the year do they talk about it the most?
About the Bible?
No. They talk about that shit all the fucking time.
Oh, wait, what?
You go to church and he's like, Corinthians.
I
You're like, oh, gosh. It seems like it's always Corinthians.
What if one day you went to church and they were just like, today we're going to be reading from Ernest Hemingway?
Actually, when I go to church, it's always about atheism the fucking guy's talking about. I walk in and
weird,
they're like...
right?
He's doing it on purpose because he knows. But, and I wear my hat. It's not to disrespect him. It kind of is. Just because he's been like a douchebag to me. Well, alright, my wife is Pentecostal. Or was.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
Fuck Noah for a little while.
Yeah, fuck Noah.
Tell about your wife's family.
Alright, my wife is Pentecostal.
She was.
Was, like I said. But her mom is, and her grandma and her grandpa and all that. They're all Pentecostal. And her 3 sisters. But when I met her, they all wore the long blue jean skirts that people make fun of.
Yeah, if you don't know what Pentecostals are, the only group Pentecostals can really make fun of are Amish.
Yeah.
Everybody else is better than them.
They resemble Amish, kind of.
They're like if the Amish, just started getting TV.
The guys can do whatever the fuck they want, and dress however they want, and the girls have to wear can't cut their hair, put it up in a fucking bun, wear these long, ugly-ass fucking blue jean skirts. It's horrible.
So when you met your wife, she had never had a haircut?
Yeah, I cut her hair.
In her life, she'd never had a haircut.
Yeah. I think they would, trim, the little...
cut 3
ends.
inches.
No, not even that.
Really?
Yeah, I think I don't even think they would cut 3. Maybe 3. Because it's got to even. You know how some strands would probably grow a little longer. But yeah, they could put it up in a bun. It doesn't matter if it has split ends at the end,
Well, it doesn't matter if it has split ends.
Yeah, but they would... They cut all the bad shit off the end every once in a while, but they wouldn't cut 14 inches off like I did on accident. But
yeah.
But anyway,
on accident.
I really was only going to cut off a couple inches at the end, and
he missed by 2 feet.
She had said she needed to get a haircut anyways, get the end, and she was laying in my lap, and I had scissors, and she had a ponytail with long went past her ass, and her hair was laying across my lap, and I kept grabbing the end of it and acting like I was going to cut it. And I ended up...
You realize everybody listening knows you cut it on purpose.
I ended up grabbing higher up. I kept grabbing at the end of it and act like I'm going to cut it. I would snip the scissors by her head or whatever. And then, something happened, and I just grabbed really high up and cut real fast. Ended up being 14 inches I cut off.
How mad do you think God got when you cut her hair?
What's crazy is, though... All right, one of their sisters cut her hair when she was younger, in high school. But it's because she didn't like having long hair. People made fun of them. And she's the one that just didn't,
She was a rebel?
Yeah, my wife's the oldest one, and the next one, her name's Ashley. And she would cut her hair one time herself. And we gotta go get it fixed. So they had to go take it to someone to get fixed. But somehow...
How do you fix it?
After that, it was just always okay for her to have her hair cut.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just keep growing it, like let it keep growing, they were just like, okay, well, Ashley's going to get her hair fixed.
Well, once you cut it, you're going to hell. But you're not fixing that.
But the other 3 girls, they didn't say it like that. They don't see it like that.
No, but they thought it.
But though, it's just the other 3 girls, they couldn't cut their hair. One of them still hasn't. See, this is Kimberly. She cut hers. My wife's name is Crystal. She cut hers. Well, I did, but I mean, she's had hers cut a bunch since then. And Ashley's always cut hers. Now it's like fucking short. It don't even go to her shoulders. But one of them still hasn't. It goes like past her ass. Like, it's
will it just keep getting longer, or will it get to a point where it just?
I think it kind of like fades off around their ass. It's not like fucking Rapunzel or whatever.
You rarely see a girl have hair longer than that.
Yeah, I know. It's usually past their ass.
And when you do, it's in Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
She's putting Miracle Grow.
But anyways, they're Pentecostal. Yeah. Anyways, they're Pentecostal and everything. But when I started dating her, they started changing all these rules in the church. You know, like they wanted us to go to like it's like a couples. You know, where I mean, it's a small church. Wasn't it? It's a small church too. But yeah, they all had boyfriends, and my wife was the only one that didn't have a boyfriend. And then when I got with her and started going to the church, I mean, it was clear that everyone knew. I mean, her parents already knew her dad found out from work that, I guess a friend of mine worked with them, and he asked around if they knew me, and he asked what church I went to, and they said, oh, no, he doesn't go to church, he's atheist. So right then, he told Crystal, and he's like, if you really want to talk to him, you have to realize that he's atheist, and if you still want to, you have to accept that or something, and they're like, do you still want to go out with him? And she's like, yeah.
I wonder why, though.
Why? She did?
No, I mean, like, she must have thought, like, all right, first of all, you already had a strike against you. Like, It would have been, her life would be way easier if you were Pentecostal. Or at least religious. Her life would have been way easier.
With her parents.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, because she wouldn't have to, like, learn new shit. Now think about it. The first time you walked in the room was like, motherfuck cunt. That must have blown her mind.
She's like, who is this guy that's rated R?
Yeah, or you
Mom doesn't let us listen. And she was 22.
Yeah.
She was 22 when I met her, and her mom and her dad still didn't like her being out past like 7 with a guy that she barely knows. Like, we're going to go to some orgy.
Did y'all ever go to an orgy?
No, we still haven't went to an orgy.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to, but with the kids, it's kind of hard to do.
Well, it's good that you cut her hair, because long hair in an orgy, it gets knotted up, you get fucking hung up.
Tangled within like 10 different people fucking.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, who the fuck's hair is this?
Long hair's bad in orgy.
But anyways, yeah, so they're all Pentecostal.
But it's good. You want to know who the girls are.
I go into the church, and it seemed like every time I would go in there, they started talking about atheism. And like it's like they're always trying to like, well, we'll pray for it, we'll pray for that. They say that a lot around me. It's like they thought that as soon as I had a kid that I all of a sudden got religious or something. I didn't.
I think it's hard for. I think it's if all you've ever known is religious people, which is likely. I don't know hardly anybody that isn't religious in some way.
Yeah.
If that's all you've ever known, it's hard to understand the other. I get their side of it.
Yeah, I have a friend that I work with. His name's James. And he's one of our listeners. He's a
listener.
And one day we'll have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so James, when you hear this, which I know you'll listen to it, that part's for you. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, he's one of the only people that I know besides my brother Jeremy here that's atheist.
Yeah, personally.
I do have a friend that me and Jeremy were friends with. Her name's Brittany. For years, I used to always joke. When I was younger, I would do the joking around atheist thing. You know, like being like, there is no God. And I'd stick like a tire iron up in the air when it's thunder and lightning.
You gotta tell this story in a little bit more depth.
You tell it, because I don't.
Okay, this goes back George Carlin.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know who that is, fucking turn this off.
Yeah.
No, if you don't know who that is, you're about to find out. George Carlin, the greatest comedian that ever lived. He was an atheist, but he was funny about it. And it's not easy to be funny about it. But he was a comedian and this and that, whatever. So he was on TV one time and he's talking about there being no God, and a person who was on the show with him makes a joke like, "Oh, lightning's gonna strike me if I'm sitting by you." And Carlin goes off and he's like, "No, there's no lightning. There's no lightning." And he says, "If there is a God, may he strike me dead." And everybody gets all weird and scared. And he's like, Nothing's happening. He doesn't dare. He doesn't dare. And he says it over and over. And to this, as I said that...
No, then he says, wait, hold on. Remember? Oh, no, that's on the stand-up.
That's on the stand-up. He made that into a joke on his stand-up. But that...
Maybe strike this audience, Dad.
Yeah. So he says that God doesn't dare strike him. So my brother, Dwight, one day, when we worked at a truck stop.
We brought it up on another podcast.
Yeah, we worked in a shop.
Yeah, there's a truck stop that's a shop, and we used to work there, and I would have friends go there when it's not busy, and we just hang out outside.
Yeah, and everybody there knew that, these guys aren't religious, and it's weird, and, so anyway, there was a bad storm coming in. Lightning striking all around. Wind was crazy. It was kind of like in Forrest Gump when the storm hits their boat.
When he's like, you call this a storm?
Yeah. So Dwight goes out there with a tire bar, which is like a piece of metal that's about 4 feet long.
Just straight up iron.
Yeah. And he holds it up in the air in the middle of the lightning storm, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Shooting
the finger up into the sky, saying, he doesn't dare. He doesn't dare.
Everybody was a little scared that night.
Now, the part that bothered me was, even if there isn't a God, lightning still strikes people.
Yeah.
And if it would have just so happened that he got struck by lightning, I would never be able to argue against religious people again. I would be like, all right, I know God didn't strike him, but I can never convince somebody that it wasn't God.
But anyways, what I was getting with, I did that in front of this girl and some guys we worked with, and they all thought I was crazy.
I thought he was crazy, too.
I used to argue with her all the time about stuff like this, and because she was like raised Jewish and Catholic.
Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she was raised like Jewish and Catholic, and for years, or when we would talk or whatever, we'd joke back and forth about stuff. But she was not atheist. She was clearly like Catholic mainly, I think. Yeah. But anyways, like a year ago, I hadn't heard from her in like 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden I get a message. She's like married and has a kid, 2 kids or something like that, and she's like, "Hey, just to let you know, you were right. You were right all along. I'm
and you weren't sure what she meant because you think you're right about everything."
Yeah, I know I'm right about everything, but and I was like, yeah, and she was like, she said I'm atheist now. It was a long message. It was a lot of stuff all in one message. And just saying, like, sorry for whatever, but you're right, and all I sent back was, you've joined the club or something like that. And I said, that's good that you came to your senses or something. But that was it. So I guess she is in one of the lists. So I probably know more atheists personally than you do. Well, you know her too, but you haven't met James yet. But seriously though, that's like it.
It's hard to find somebody who isn't, not only who is non-religious like us, but it's hard to find somebody that's even like just barely religious. They're all like pretty much
they
don't follow the rules.
My wife, the last couple of nights I've been talking to her on the road when we're coming back from her mom's house, and like I've been bringing up religion again. It's been on my mind a lot lately, I guess, again, like joking around it,
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, you're really not religious. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you don't go to church except on Easter, and that's because they have food after it. I was like, her church has this Easter thing.
I'll go
every year, and the kids go and chase the fucking Easter eggs and shit, and they have food. The last 2 Easters was the only time we went to church. Like, I think she might have went with her mom came and picked her up one day, but they that's like when we go to church though, and they know it. We just go and get the free food and then leave, But what is the church gonna get mad? All they're doing is proving.
Not only that,
the church can't get pissed when you go to the fucking place once a year. Because by their standards, what you're supposed to be doing,
and like, why would they care? They don't need you. Almost everybody is religious.
I don't donate to religion, charities or the little offerings or nothing. I don't, because I don't like to support them. Because most of them are corrupt,
Oh, big.
I'm sure there's some.
They're not all corrupt.
Yeah, the really big ones. Not like fucking Joel Osteen. That dude's straight up corrupt.
Oh, horrible. Hold on.
Noah's sitting over in the corner like, what about me? Right? He's like, you started with me, and now you're talking about tire irons.
Tell my story. No, I said some of them aren't corrupt.
Everybody knows that dude's fucking story.
They're all corrupt because what they're selling you isn't real.
Yeah.
It's as bad as the spaghetti plates me and you sold in the fucking projects.
Yeah. Some people are like, if they're just tuning into this one, they're like, what the
That's a
fuck are they
That's a
talking
callback to episode 8 or 7. 8.
Yeah, we're on 9 right now.
But no, yeah. Anyway, back to Noah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Christians are mad because it doesn't follow reality. So basically, they would have been pissed unless, to make them happy, we would have had to find an 800-year-old actor, a lot of lumber. I mean, let's face it, we got to build a pretty good sized boat for this movie.
The movie makes a lot of sense for I said the movie makes a lot of sense. That was the stupidest thing I've ever fucking said about a movie.
Yeah, but a lot of movies
I mean?
make sense that aren't.
But all right,
The Matrix makes sense.
I don't like to give it because you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen it, but I know the story of Noah.
And I've saw it recently.
Let me guess, everybody drowns except his family?
But what I'm saying is, this movie, like, helps out with the idea. You know, like the one with the trash kicking in Philadelphia? That dude?
It's a good movie.
He was a Noah movie.
Oh.
He had a Noah movie. Horrible.
Tony Danza.
Yeah, Tony Danza had his fucking Noah movie, and it was stupid. And then there's that Evan Almighty one.
That movie's really bad.
That was horrible. So if you're watching those movies and you're wanting to go see this one because you're thinking it's going to be another Noah story like those, it's nowhere near the same. This one actually has really cool graphics, and like it really does like help out with showing it. You know, I mean, it really does like it's pretty good, and it's got Anthony Hopkins. That helps.
that helps a lot. If we had him on our podcast, we'd be number 1.
Even though he's only in like 3 or 4 scenes, and it's like towards the middle and then at the end. I mean, he's pretty good.
Is he God?
No.
Damn it.
No. But anyways, it's not bad though. I mean, like it kind of helps out with the wood idea, and then like how everybody would, you know, it's a good. I don't want to give anything away.
How does it explain kangaroos getting back to Australia?
I didn't see any kangaroos on there, but
what about penguins?
But it shows the animals like show up and shit, and you're like, holy shit.
Can they talk?
And it's not all like you see the fucking elephants, you see the giraffes, and you see it's not all like.
How many different species of beetles show
It's not like comical like the other ones always are. You know, it always like the boat's floating off, and you see the 2 giraffes heads sticking out, and you see the elephants on like the deck. You know, no, it's a little better thought out, and like some of the ways they keep the animals there, it's pretty good. I mean, it's more like someone's thought about it. You know,
they're not just
someone's fixed the story over the last couple thousand years. They finally got it.
It needed fixing.
Well, I mean, it's still stupid. You know, I mean, it's about as, like, you know, Inception. You know how stupid the idea of that movie is. It's about along those lines.
Yeah, that's what I say when somebody's like, you enjoy religious movies? Yeah, that doesn't mean I think it's real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Like I said a while ago, my wife is Pentecostal, or was, or whatever, but her mom is. Her mom was talking to us the other day. I said talking to us. Anyways, talking to us the other day, and she said something about Noah, or I did, and she was like, "Y'all watched it?"
Yeah.
As if I wouldn't watch it. I mean, because I'm like, I ain't watching that. That's stupid. That's a religious movie. I don't like religious movies.
I actually tend to enjoy
No, we even watched Heaven is for Real.
Oh god, we have that. I haven't seen it yet.
Gosh, it was bad. The only reason, because I like Greg Kinnear. The only reason I really wanted to watch it is because it was him. Well, on the cover, I was like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, is that Greg Kinnear? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll watch it. So I rented it. But
I've read the story.
God's Not Dead or whatever. God's something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It says God's Dead and it has like not in between on the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. But I didn't see that new Jesus movie.
The new Jesus movie.
Yeah, there's another Jesus movie. Her mom went and saw it with her mom, and she was like, "It was so good, Dwight. You have to go and see it." She kept whenever she went and saw it.
Because she thinks it's gonna make you religious.
Something, I guess. I don't know. Even though we had a talk, we kind of had a run-in again not too long ago. We were talking about something, and I brought up something, and she was just like acting like, "Oh, you're just a kid, you know, and you don't know." And I'm like, "All right." For one thing, she's like 12 years older than me. You know, yeah. I mean, she's like 12 years older than you.
Ugh.
Like no. Yeah, I think she's like 44.
God, really?
Yeah.
She's not much older than me.
Yeah, I mean, like, she had Crystal when she got pregnant with her when she was 18. So, I mean, she's not that much older. So, anyways, she was just, whatever, and thinking I was just a kid. She didn't really want to talk about. And I was like, you're gonna always be on your side, and I'm always be on my side. Can we just agree to disagree?
Yeah.
And then she just wouldn't say anything.
Because anything else
But she was trying to bring up stuff, because anything where a religious person is around other religious people, and of course I'm always usually the only atheist person in the room, because they're not going to fight both of us. Yeah. It's usually just me, and she's going to bring it up. Then everybody else looks there, and if anything I say, I'm looking like an asshole or some douchebag or something, just trying to fight. Yeah. When I was just like, I don't want to talk about this, and she kept bringing stuff up, and I was like, can't we just agree to disagree? I was like, can we just do that?
I mean, the problem with...
of course I'm sitting there on her couch in her house, and she's, like, bitching about all this stuff, but I'm not wanting to fight with her while she's, like, cooking food we're fixing to all eat,
No, you don't want to piss her off.
You know what I mean? It's just... But, I mean, still, you don't do that to people.
But the problem with her point of view is that... Okay, let's say you're wrong. Let's say, that there is some kind of God, and you're wrong. That's fine, you're wrong. She's definitely wrong. You think Pentecostals got it right? How many Pentecostals do you think there are? 100,000? Ever?
I don't know.
You think they're right?
I made some joke about Mormons.
You think God cares how long your daughter's hair is? Or if she wears skirts or pants? There's no way she's right.
I made some joke about Mormons the other day. Oh, because we were... The silk screening thing that I have, that I can make shirts.
Yeah, that you know.
Yeah, well, I gave it to her sister, so she can make shirts now. Well, I didn't really give it to her. I just said she can borrow it. But anyways, I said that, I went out with this Mormon girl one time, and her parents own, some
Do you only date weird religious sects people?
That's weird, yeah.
I mean, what are you going to get next, a Scientologist?
Well, Brittany was Jewish Catholic.
Well, I mean, what do you got, Scientologist? You need a Buddhist? I mean, what do you need to mark off your list?
A couple Baptists.
Yeah, that's not weird. There's billions of them in this town.
But yeah, there's a bunch of Baptists. But, I mean... Catholic Jewish, that's fucking weird as shit. But
it's
Mormon.
It's just somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. Yeah. It can't possibly be both.
But Mormon, that's probably the weirdest. I mean, they're all weird, but in their own way. No. Mormons are that's like a new weird.
It's fairly new.
Yeah.
It's from the 1850s. If your religion's from the 1850s...
Yeah, just
Levi jeans existed when your religion
hidden
started.
Scrolls in Arizona, or where the fuck they found. Was it in Arizona?
Yeah, I think he found them in Ohio. He found these golden plates. All
right, if you've ever been to Ohio, you're not going to find anything of importance. You're not going to find anything that's definitely been there for 2,000 years.
No.
But anyways,
the oldest probably local newspaper you could scrape up is probably last year's January.
I've been there, and it's there's not much going on there.
Did you know Brian Redband is from there?
Cleveland?
No, he's from Columbus.
Columbus.
When you go to Ohio, do you think this seems like where Redband would be?
There was some weird out there people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some people I could tell. I mean, I didn't talk to the town folk or nothing, but I mean, I didn't find the village idiot or nothing. But I probably looked like the village idiot when I was there.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. We're going to have to start wrapping this one up soon.
Yeah, we didn't get as into Noah as we thought we would.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to do another one?
Probably not.
I want to talk more about Noah.
I mean, we're going to do more. Yeah. This isn't our last one.
Yeah, this isn't the last episode. We're going to finish on 9.
No, we're going to keep doing them, probably forever,
Yeah, we'll just keep recording them. But,
if we just have our one listener, then so be it.
I did want to get more into religion, though, damn. This one was all about... it started out with Noah, and then, it went straight into, Pentecost.
I think we did 10 minutes on your wife's haircut.
Yeah.
That's got to be a podcast record.
Yeah, but, I mean, people are like, oh, my gosh, she dated a Pentecostal girl. What was that like,
How weird would it be if, just as a ritual, when she woke you up speaking in tongues?
Well, I mean, her church doesn't, do that stuff, when I told her, and she was she said they've been to some revivals where they do that, and she said it was, weird.
It's scary.
But, she was it was, weird. It's not people are she was Pentecostal. She wasn't, getting up there and, sometimes reading from the Bible. She was just, along for the ride. they would all get in the car and go to church. And she'd sit there, like most American people do when they go to church. They just go to church to look like the good guy.
Just to say they go to church.
Just to say they go to, we're going to church
like,
Wednesday and Sunday. Whenever they have their things, we always help out and make caramel apples. Oh, fuck. You just want to fucking eat some caramel apples.
You know nothing about the religion that you say you follow.
You think some guys will be like, oh, yeah, well, y'all can get in. Y'all make caramel apples for that fucking gay-ass church down there that makes you wear long-ass skirts. You
made the caramel apples that the guy used to entice the kids into his van. Good job. Come into heaven.
Yeah.
If heaven's, like say that heaven and hell were real, and that people who are religious went to heaven and people like us didn't, heaven would have so many fucking kid fuckers.
You don't hear much about hell anymore.
Well, because...
You know what I mean?
If you talk about hell too much, you lose people. So like, wait. Is there a group we can get in that doesn't have hell?
Yeah, because people are all like, whenever I'm in heaven, whenever I die, I'm going to heaven. People think that...
People that you know are dicks.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of people...
My dad talks about that shit.
Especially if you go by religion, like the Bible or whatever, and it says stuff like...
don't eat shrimp.
Like the little things you're not supposed to do, that everyone does.
Yeah,
people are all like, oh yeah, they're like, is today Friday? Damn. These nachos are good.
I hope we're not out of time.
Yeah, we pretty much are.
Well, I gotta tell a quick one.
Really quick.
Okay.
We can't go over 40 minutes.
The people that I work for and with are pretty hardcore Catholics. Catholics are the best Christians because they're usually laid back. But, local Catholics. The Pope's probably a becking dick. But, so, we go to restaurants during the day a lot for lunch. And we were in a steakhouse, and it was during Lent, and it was Friday. But you kind of lose track of time because we work so many weekends. So we all ordered, and our food got there, and we started to eat. And my boss's son, who, he's about my age or so, he started to eat, and then he's like, oh, today's Friday, and it's Lent. I'm not supposed to eat meat. And I was like, dude, you don't got to worry. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, this building has a tin roof. God can't see through tin. You're fine. Well... That didn't get the laughs I thought it would. I got blank stares.
It would have been if I was there.
Yeah, it got blank stares. And they're like, God's everywhere. He sees everything. He's in here. And I was like,
weird.
No, and this was coming from an otherwise fairly smart college graduate person. And I was like, he's everywhere. He's in here. They're like, yeah, he's everywhere. He's in here with us. I was like, what the fuck's he doing in a steakhouse on Friday when you're not supposed to eat meat? I got no answer. They quickly changed the subject. And it was never mentioned again. The only thing I get from that little joke I made was every time they're talking about religion, I get like sideways glances. They're like, so we're going to go to this church thing. And they look at me and they're like, well, Jeremy don't go to church. So,
they just know it.
And it's really weird. And then when...
Yeah, but then after that, they're all just cool with everything.
Oh, no, nobody hates me or anything.
They hate me.
Well, that's not because
most people hate me.
Yeah, that's because you're a dick.
I'm proud of it.
Well, it's not that you're a dick. It's just like... You're just not very likable. The only reason I'm likable is because I don't talk much. Of course, if you're listening to this
I can make people like me. I just choose not to.
But if you listen to this podcast and you hear me say I don't talk much, you're like, all you know about me is talking. But, I'm actually really shy, really quiet, and don't like people. But I don't want to end on that note. So, happy thoughts. I'm just going to say the words happy thoughts because I can't think of anything happy to say.
Yeah, happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about on another podcast. Maybe on our next podcast we'll talk about Were
you wearing your seatbelt for that whole podcast?
Yeah, it's because we can't. Aren't you wearing yours?
No.
Well, we just got back from town.
Okay, we just did 2 consecutive podcasts in a row recorded. He had a seatbelt on.
Probably around an hour and 30 minutes, actually.
Yeah.
I just took it off because we're parked outside my apartment.
So here's a happy thought for you. While we were recording this, the truck's in park, we're not moving, but Dwight was safe.
Yeah, extremely safe.
Very safe.
If someone were to drive through the ditch and hit us...
coming from a dead-end road.
They would have had to use the jaws of life to peel me out and then unbuckle my seatbelt.
And a pocket knife to cut the strap from his shoulder.
Anyways, that's going to be the end of episode 9. And we would record another one
but
if Jeremy didn't have to go to a gay-ass volleyball game in the morning.
And I do have to go to
Well, it's a tournament. A tournament.
It's a tournament, yeah.
It's a tournament.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the end of episode 9.
Episode 9. Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Or
won't hear y'all even.
We won't see or hear you.
Y'all will hear us next time.
Yes.
Right?
That's it.
And that's it. Pterodactyl.